Fantasy Football Podcast with your host, Nick Anderson.
What is up, Dynasty Degenerates? This is your boy, Nick Anderson, with the Down and Dirty Dynasty Fantasy Football Podcast, or as you know it, the Triple D FFP. And you guys, I am so excited to introduce today our guest host. We got RUMBOYZ.net in the house. What's going on, man?
What's going on, everybody? RUMBOYZ Robbie is in the building. As always, cheers to me, cheers to you. And this time, shouts to the Down and Dirty Dynasty crew. Thank you for having me on, bro. Cheers.
Hell yeah, man. So why don't you tell them a little bit about your podcast? Tell them about your website, everything that you guys got going right now.
Absolutely. Check us out, rumboyz.com. That's RUMBOYZ spelled with a Z. You can follow us on all social media at RUMBOYZ spelled with a Z, N-E-T. And yeah, we're on YouTube, Anchor, Spotify, Google, Apple, you name it. You can find us, RUMBOYZ Fantasy Network. We started about a year and a half ago. Been going strong in the industry. Interviewed 40 rookies, 8 different professional athletes. We debated some of the best in the industry. And just having a good time.
What rookies did you get the chance to interview?
Oh man, the whole 2019 class, pretty much those are my guys. I got to see Kyler, Bosa. Shout out my favorite interview of all, and I hope that we get to see him on the field one day. Andy Isabella, he was the real one. Daniel Jones is a very well-mannered man. Got to meet his family and his parents. AJ Brown, he is gonna accept that primetime-esque aura.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys. Anyone that wants to, really quick, sidebar, anyone that wants to tell you that these guys are not getting paid in college, go back and look at the Eric Dickerson story. Okay.
Right.
These guys are getting paid in college. When Miles Sanders sat down and he has a gigantic Pittsburgh Pirates Wiz Khalifa style chain on his neck, Dwayne Haskins walks in with the Gucci bag. I'm sitting there with my Jordans, my watch. They're like, "Oh man, this is really nice." I'm like, what? I'm trying to just make it look like I fit into this set right now. It was great. Yeah,
it's just like Arian Foster, man. Once he stopped giving a shit, he was spouting about all that stuff.
All of it, bro. All of it. Once they're out of the league, they don't give a damn. But I mean, yeah, man, I got to see the inside of that world. So I was actually supposed to be getting ready to do that again this year, because that's one of the functions that we do. We go with our sponsor, sportscaster.com, the iOS app, which is live streaming for sports analysts, pretty much. But yeah, I mean, and they send us in partnership with the NFL Players Association to the NFL Rookie Premiere. It's a super, super exclusive event. Panini is there. All the NFL sponsors are there. And yeah, I mean, it was crazy watching the draft to see these guys get handed their Old Spice bags and damn, this year there's not a RUMBOYZ business card up in that mug. But,
dude, that had to be crazy though, man. Getting to just mingle with those guys, that had to be nuts.
Oh yeah. Will Greer, shout out to Will Greer. I kind of pitched an idea to him while we were both highly intoxicated. It was great. But no, his wife is awesome. We talked, dad life and everything. It was awesome. I got to meet a lot of those guys on a personal standpoint. So it's awesome that we're here on a Dynasty podcast, because if you mention anything about the 2019 rookies, I'm probably going to be a little bit biased. So it's cool.
I hear you, man. Yeah, that's awesome, though, because that's the one thing I was talking the other day on the Twitter sphere about, the intangibles that you can't understand as, just even just a regular analyst or a regular Dynasty fantasy football player. You don't get to meet these guys and know their personalities and know what they're about. And that's why I love getting to talk about the intangibles on here. I saw Keyshawn Vaughn do push-ups in the LSU game when he almost fumbled the football.
Yeah.
That shit shows me discipline, and you get to learn that stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely. Coming from that inside, it's awesome getting to see how these guys operate behind the scenes and what they do in their free time. Prime example, a guy that we're going to talk about later on, a little early spoiler alert, David Montgomery. The man is just so disciplined, so focused. My former co-host at the time, I remember one of the questions in the interview was, hey, now that you're signed, you're a Chicago Bear, and my former co-host was a Chicago Bears fan, so he's trying to interact with this dude on a more personal level, right? He's like,
Right.
are you going to be going out, around the Chicago area? I know a couple places, I could recommend. He's like, no, I'm just focused. I'm just trying to hit the field. Like, and like this dude's stone cold. He's like, I got people depending on me back home.
Damn.
We just got out the mud, and so we're just trying to get to. And I'm like, holy crap, this dude is focused, because like everyone else is walking in here. Like I said, like when Dwayne sat next to me being a guy from Washington D.C. When Dwayne sat next to me, and I'm like, hey, you went to Potomac. Like, yeah, it's all right. Being back in this city. At the end of the day, that you're a Washington Redskins, you're going to get a big payday as long as you perform.
Right.
I could kind of see it. I could kind of sense like feel a little bit of that cockiness, that swagger. All the rest of the guys, they're all, doing like the tire throws at the Panini signing, and he's just standoffish,
Stone cold.
Yeah, sit back getting a massage from like the trainer, and with the shades on, doing his with the shades on.
Right. Yeah, well, I mean that's good. That's good signs for what we're about to talk about with him. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I'm excited for this episode, bro.
Hell yeah. So let's just dive right in. We're going to go over some buy lows and sell highs on these guys, okay? And the reason I want to go over this right now is because we're getting right up to the point where people are starting to do their dynasty rookie drafts, if you haven't already done them. And it worries me seeing, like the madness that goes on Twitter with these rookies. Everybody gets caught up in rookie mania, and they forget that there's a whole batch of guys that were last year's rookie mania that we're sleeping on right now. And so, I mean, if you can dish some low-end picks for some guys that didn't perform year one, or some other vets that, you can get lower picks for, then, man, you got to capitalize on that. And that's the way that you win. It's not all about them rookies.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You mentioned the rookie hype, the rookie mania. I'm in a dynasty startup right now, and I was seeing early on people just hurry up and trying to snatch like the top rookies off the board. Hey, I'm telling these guys, hey, it's a dynasty startup. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get some of those vets, and I'm going to sprinkle in some of that.
Yeah.
That you're doing as well in between, but I'm in win now mode. I can get rookies that'll develop a year, 2, 3 down the line. Let me check our trophy.
Hell yeah, man. All right, so let's get it started up. We're going to start off with the sell highs right now. And so I kind of came up with my list. You came up with your list. We're going to go over the number one of my sell highs. And we haven't talked about this yet, so I don't know what our opinions are going to be on it. But my number one for the quarterback position is Drew Lock. Man, I'm thinking, he's got a bunch of weapons coming in, and this is make or break time for him. And if he doesn't produce, then we could be seeing him go from all the way up here to all the way down here real fucking quick.
And I love Drew Lock. The kid has swagger. The kid has moxie. He has attitude. He has the Denver persona that honestly this area kind of just needs right now. They need a resurgence at the quarterback position. He's going to bring it. From a fantasy standpoint, you're going to be able to grab him. I feel like fairly low, in drafts, because everyone's going to run after the Mahomes, the Lamar Jacksons, and they're going to, the big time veterans are going to go off the board. Your Breezes, your Prescotts, all those guys. Locke is still going to be sitting there as a hidden gem that people are going to be sleeping on, and he actually might be able to get you a ring. Now that he has Jared Judy, he has Cortland Sutton. 3 times he pops up on the field like Beals used to make crazy scary plays. So yeah, man, I'm all in on Locke, man, and that Denver area attack now.
See, man, we got a difference of opinion though, because I'm telling you to sell high on him. I'm getting out while I can, man. He's got all these weapons now, dude. I love the weapons. I think that like there is a huge chance that he could capitalize on this shit. I mean, getting his red zone weapon back from Mizzou and Albert O is something that I think you can't replicate that kind of chemistry.
Nope.
You've got Noah Fant, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy. All those guys are going to be huge for him. But I mean, the reports that I'm hearing from the Denver coaching staff, is that they're not sold on him as the franchise quarterback yet. He's got to prove it. And with all this influx of weapons, I think that you can make a 50-50 gamble and sell high on him. And I wouldn't be upset if he ended up popping off and I still got a good price tag for him.
Okay. Now what? And I'm sure for Drew Lock, you're looking for picks in exchange for that, right?
That's kind of, I mean, yeah, something like that, or somebody like I was talking about. If you could sell like in Drew Lock Mania with all the weapons that he got, and get somebody like a Sam Darnold or something and a pick in between, then I would do that. Now I don't know if you could get that, but I'm just saying that like when you're looking at those guys and you look at like no production, but then you look at Drew Lock who just got this influx of talent. If you can capitalize on that and get a same tier player plus a pick, I might be about that.
Can't stay Sam Darnold. It's Darnold. I can't stand Darnold. he to me, he is the second coming of Sanchez.
Okay.
There's a butt fumble in his highlight reel. I see it in the crystal ball. It's there.
Man, see, I just feel like I don't know, dude. Sam, we're gonna talk about him a little bit later on because he's one of my buy lows. But first off, I love Denzel Mims, so I'm a little bit clouded by this because I love the fact that he's got Denzel Mims now, and so when I'm looking at him, I see a 22.9-year-old quarterback who's younger than fucking Joe Burrow coming in this year with 3 years of experience. Now I hate Adam Gase. Adam Gase can go fuck off. I do not
hate Adam Gase, bro. No. The whole time during the draft, you know that he was watching the damn screen, looking at picks like this, like the damn DVD. Remember the old school 2000s DVD screensaver? Bouncing around,
just waiting for it to hit the corner. He just so happened to click it at the right time, at the right moment in the corner when it was Denzel Mims. That was a lucky pick for the Jets. The goddamn Jets. But yeah, I man,
had to do it.
But yeah, I don't know, man. Like I like Drew Lock. Drew Lock's got that cannon. We talked to Aton Mosey on here, who's a Denver Broncos fan too, and so like he's talking about like how much he thinks that Drew Lock's arm is going to play into some of these guys' futures. And I think that there's a strong possibility of it. But if I can capitalize on the hype of a guy who's a middling quarterback, I might be trying to get out while I can, while the hype's still high.
Now, one more question before we move on to the next player, brother.
Okay.
If you have that Albert O Lock stack already, are you still moving Lock?
There's just a lot of mouths to feed there. I mean, it makes me wonder about like, because I love Albert O. Okay, like he wasn't my number one tight end. Like I think that he's more athleticism than he is skill right now, but I love that chemistry that they've got. But dude, you've seen these super teams come together with these wild ass talents and everybody trying to merge, and it doesn't always pan out. And the quarterback can't always float that stuff. And so it's the scariest thing for me is a quarterback that's given all the keys to the kingdom, because now he's got no excuse if he fails.
Yeah.
And so if he fails, he fails, and there ain't no excuse about it, and everybody's gonna write him off. And so that's why I said that, like, we're seeing him come off of like a mildly productive rookie season where he had, a decent sample size. And then we're seeing him come into a sophomore year where he could boom or he could bust. And I'm always trying to play the odds on that thing. And I think the odds might say that it might be time to get out right now and eat it later on if he does end up being something.
There you go.
But let's go on to the next one. Another one of my sell highs right now, and it might not be as high as you could have sold it last week, is Devin Singletary.
Motor Singletary. the arrival of Zach Moss can be daunting to some.
And see, I'm not a Zach Moss fan, so I don't want this to get twisted, okay? Because I am not a Zach Moss truther like some people are out there thumping the drum. But I just think that there's nothing that Singletary does that is leaps and bounds better than what Moss does.
Does exactly.
And so, and I don't think, I mean, aside from like goal line carries and tackle breaking, which Zach Moss is a fucking freak at, he doesn't do anything a ton better than Singletary does. He's a decent pass catcher. He's not a great pass catcher. He had good numbers coming out of college, but I think that was fabricated by dump offs and easy catches. Like, you're going to get that if the scheme fits it, you know? Doesn't make him a great pass catcher.
Well, I mean, especially when you got a guy like Josh Allen, who I like to call Vanilla Vic, you know, in the pocket back there, because he's kind of just show past that and just split.
Yeah.
If that linebacker is starting to roll out and come in and sack him. So, I mean, I still say you can – Devin Singletary is one of those that can fall in between. You can either, depending on your situation, you can buy low or you can sell high on him, you know, like while you still can. I think that there are going to be some people out there that are going to say, hey, he was there last year. Frank Gore is now, you know, retired,
right,
so to speak. So, I mean, we never know actually what the hell's going to happen with his old ass. But, I mean, so that's what I said, so to speak. So, I mean, maybe the coach staff is looking like, all right, we got a better connection here with this guy. We'll bring Zach Moss along eventually. And maybe you use that more so as an in-season trade. Like, hey, look at everything that he's doing.
Right.
And then if you can notice that trend of Zach Moss starting to get those touches, and his touches, you know, he had 3 this game. Well, now he has 5. Oh, now that 5 went to 8. All right, let me hurry up and get him out of here really quick because now they're starting to trust us. No, scheme fit.
Right. And some of the you made a good point there, because some of the sell highs that I'm talking about aren't sell highs today, but they're sell highs this season. You know, is that you got to keep an eye on some of these cats and just realize that like their future is real muddy. And if you can get them in a situation where they popped off, you know, week 3, week 2, something like that, and then you can be like, oh shit, look, Zach Moss ain't shit. Devin Singletary is where it's at. He had a strong start to the season, and then you can dish him, and then week 15 they're splitting carries. Then we're looking at a good deal right there, you know.
I like it.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I do think the one thing that we have to worry about with Devin Singletary, which it wasn't like he was eating at the goal line last year anyway. I think he totaled 4 touchdowns, but he is going to get 0 red zone carries with Zach Moss out there on the field, being like what I think it's like 22 pounds heavier than him, and then number 1 tackle.
Yeah, a little bit bigger, yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, like I said, there's just nothing that he does better than Moss, but I don't think there's a shit ton that Moss does better than Singletary. And so I think they're just going to vulture off each other, and it's not going to be a symbiotic relationship.
Exactly. They're too similar. They're too similar.
Yeah. And so let's go on to my wide receiver in the sell high. And now this thing did take a hit in the draft, you know, but I think that my wide receiver sell high right now is Amari Cooper. I think you can still capitalize on that name value.
You can definitely capitalize on the name value. I want to put this out there for a lot of people because I know a lot of people right now are eager to get into leagues against people that, you know, create content that, you know, either A, do this as their side job, or either B, they do this as their full-time job. Forewarning you, there's going to be a big asterisk the second that you bring up Amari Cooper in a trade offer. You're trying to move him off your team. Due to the fact that film heads out there, no one's going to disappear in games. The addition of CeeDee Lamb, and then if you want to just take a little backstory from just my reporter background,
right?
Us giving CeeDee Lamb number 88 clearly says we want you to be number 1.
Yep.
Look for Amari to become trade bait.
Mm-hmm.
Probably at the end of this season, I don't see him being one of those mid-season moves. You know, I don't see like a Golden Tate situation where it's like, oh, you're gonna go to Philly. Oh, now you're gonna go to New York. Like, I don't see that, you know.
Right.
But look out for this one. Be very careful. Make sure that maybe package this one real nice.
Okay.
And make sure you're on your salesman skills.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna have to will and deal.
Right. Because when I'm looking at this, I know that everybody thinks that Gallup is the one who just took the biggest hit with the addition of CeeDee Lamb. No, that's what I'm saying, man, is that you look at this and Amari has no guaranteed money after 2021. None. And so, I mean, they can cut bait whenever they want. And then you're talking about that trade outlet. dude, tell me that getting Amari Cooper in a trade and then still having a contract that doesn't have any guaranteed money after 2021 isn't hella appealing for a team.
You know that Jerry he's now. I just talked about that, using your words, that power of persuasion. You know Jerry's
Right.
going to talk to anyone as soon as he picks up that phone.
Come out of my yacht. Come out of my yacht. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll have a nice, scotch, and then next thing you know, you just got fleeced out of a second or a third round pick.
Exactly.
Amari disappears in games Cooper. And one more thing.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, I think that you can still capitalize on name value with him. Amari's got that big budget name, with a future that ain't there with the Cowboys.
Move him. Look for the guy in your league that knows nothing about like actual like X's and O's football. Like sell Amari Cooper to the guy that doesn't realize that Darius Slay is in Philadelphia now. So not only did Amari Cooper disappear for his road games last year, but we can guarantee that now there's an extra home game in Dallas that he's going to disappear.
Right.
And I'm sorry, Darius Slay. Yes, I am a Redskins fan. I hate that he's Philly now, and I wanted us to spend the money to go get him because we had it.
Right.
But that is the best damn corner in the NFL right now.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Richard Sherman, eat your heart out.
Oh, shit. So it seems like we're in agreement on that. And then let's go to our tight end sell high right now. And my sell high for the tight end is Darren Waller. And the reason I say that is because I feel like, man, when I'm watching this stuff, I see that Darren Waller is 27, going to be 28 in September. We haven't seen him pop off. And I know that some of that can be attributed to the fact that he moved to tight end once he came into the NFL. But then you look at him with all of the weapons that just got added around him, and he kind of seems like a tight end version of Terrell Pryor at wide receiver. You saw that 1 year wonder where he popped off, and then nothing after that. What you think about that?
So I was actually gonna take a different angle.
Okay.
So this is a copycat league, all right? Mm-hmm. You can easily, when you send that trade offer, if you're working B2B, person to person, let's say it's Nick. If I'm sending Nick that Darren Waller offer, I'm gonna first just send that name. I'm gonna wait about 2 minutes, and then right after that, I'm gonna send a clip of film. I'm gonna let it speak for itself because the film in this aspect speaks for itself.
Right.
Copycat league. They just added Henry Ruggs, about 5'10", 5'8", 5'9". He's a short fella. Runs about what? He ran a 4.2. Was
4.2? Yeah, 4.27, wasn't it?
Yeah, was that the unofficial or the official? I think that was the official.
That was the official.
Yeah. So 4.27. Gruden, it's looking like you're looking at Andy Reid, and you're looking at Tyreek Hill, and you're trying to recreate that.
Right.
Difference is they don't have the quarterback to be able to do it. Get Waller off your team.
And my worry is that not the tight end position, but the Travis Kelce role with that jump ball expert that's going to be big bodied isn't going to be Darren Waller in 2020. It's going to be Brian Edwards, man.
Bro, see, there you go. I don't know if Waller gets replaced in that capacity. My theory and more so worry is that they're not going to be able to pull this copycat off.
Right.
Henry Ruggs will be a valuable piece in this offense. Waller's going to take the hit because they're going to be trying to satisfy their their first round draft pick.
Because you got to justify that shit. He has to perform well, or y'all look like idiots.
Yep. So we're already accounting for automatic touches, especially as aggressive as Gruden is. Mm-hmm. Wanting to get a big value guy like that adjusted and incorporated into the offense, and given the current climate of everything that we're in with guys being in quarantine, so they can't really get together and train.
Right.
They're going to force feed him to get him comfortable.
Well, so what would you say in dynasty leagues you think an appropriate value to trade away Darren Waller is? Because I think amongst all these ones that we talked about, Waller seems to me to be the most like get rid of him and get him and you can still get a damn good value for him because everybody's worried about the wide receiver core. They're not worried about the tight end.
Exactly. You're gonna see if you can get someone's rookie off of them, a rookie tight end that's coming up, or either see if you can facilitate a position that you might be weak at. If not, you need to be trying to snipe mid-round picks off of them.
Right.
Because that's where the tight ends are going to be falling when you're going to be drafting in the following year. So you're going to want to get a sweet spot. Look at your previous year draft board. Okay, this is where the tight end trend started going. All right, this is the picks that I went from this guy.
And so we'll just transition. We'll kind of do an inverse flip flop into the guys that are. We'll just talk about this one isolated. About the one of our buy lows is Irv Smith. I think that if you could package a deal with Darren Waller to get Irv Smith and some picks out of that, because Irv still hasn't really produced, I'm about that. I think that would be a great deal for you to get a young tight end on a budding offense that just acquired Justin Jefferson, so they still keep the field stretcher going and all that shit. I think getting rid of Darren Waller for something like that and picks would be great.
And I want to actually second you there with Irv Smith. There's too much confusion that's going to happen in that offense with now Diggs not being there.
Yep.
If Diggs isn't able to be there, coming from a Redskins fan and knowing Kirk Cousins, he's not going to know what to do when he does not have weapons.
Right.
Thielen, I have a feeling is going to be overworked, overused, and because of that, their frustration is going to set in. Also, given his age, I think there's going to be drops on his accord. So then Kirk is going to have to switch. All right, now let's start forcing Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson is going to do fine. He's young. He's budding. He's going to be up and coming. Because of that scenario and because of how sloppy that can get, tight ends are security blankets and always have been. Prime evidence, Jordan Reed.
Right.
Go ahead and get Irv Smith off your roster. But now also because I want you to then look at the film from previously with Kirk in Washington and then look at the windows that he throws his tight ends into. He has the same problem as one Baker Mayfield, where he gets tight ends murdered.
Yeah.
Because of that, you need to get Irv Smith off of your team because now I have a feeling this year Cousins is going to be throwing out of duress.
Okay.
Get him off your team. You don't want to deal with the injury. You don't want to have to deal with the moving him to a reserve spot. Let someone else deal with that headache.
So you're saying sell Irv is what you're saying?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, man.
I'm saying sell because of the scenario, because this is Kurt that we're talking about.
It is, man. It is. I hear you. Yeah, I think we got a difference of opinion on that one, but I like that. I'm about that when we got a difference of opinion because I love Irv Smith, but I'm biased because I'm both a Kansas City Chiefs fan and I'm a Vikings fan. I got my Dalvin Cook signed jersey and my Stephon Diggs signed jersey right next to my Tyreek Hill and all that, so.
We just gave away, one of the channels that we work with and we manage, Proclamation Fans Football, just gave away a Dalvin Cook jersey. So very nice. I like that. Yeah. Good taste.
Yeah, man. I got my Dalvin Cook college signed jersey down here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, man. I'm about that. So let's go on. We're going to talk about some of the guys that you were talking about that were some sell highs. So we'll start it off with Le'Veon Bell with the Jets. Let's hear what you have to think about it.
The goddamn Jets. I can't do the voice as good as the kid from Big Daddy.
Yeah, well, he wipes his own ass,
Wipe my own ass.
That's right, yeah.
Bro, I love it. It's hilarious. So Le'Veon Bell in New York. Look, this man just got paid. Well, not just about a year ago. Le'Veon Bell just got paid. He got a bag. He is way more focused on rapping.
The worst fucking rapping I've ever heard in my life.
It's awful. It's awful.
Can we get Shaq to throw a diss track at him just to see what he comes back with?
Shaq and Lev Bell rap battle?
Oh, that's my dream right there. I want to hear that shit.
Dude, hey, but Shaq has DJ skills, bro. So, I mean, he might be able to, produce his own beats, and the beat might just be better, and who knows?
Who was it? Was it Damian Lillard that he came at last year?
Damian Lillard versus Shaq,
yeah.
Oh, Dollar Dame. No, for the Lev Bell, I just feel like he's not focused on football. This is a guy that, once again, name value. You want to move him off of your roster if you can.
Yeah.
That offensive line is still weak. I don't believe in the Jets. I think the Jets just might be cursed, to be honest. I've never been impressed with this team. I feel like this is where talent goes to die.
I'm hoping not, man. You're killing my soul with the Denzel Mims because I want him to do so well.
Bro, Denzel Mims had that. It wasn't his last season, but previous 2 seasons, he had a serious drop problem. 17 drops across the course of those 2 seasons.
It was like 12.9%. I know. But you know who else had a bad drop problem was DK Metcalf. All right, DK had that drop problem too. And when you watch them, they make the circus grabs, but the dumbasses bounce it off the chest because they're catching it in too close. It's the concentration drops, and I think he can fix it, man.
Yeah, definitely Odell Beckham.
But I think I'm telling you, I don't think that Denzel Mims runs the best routes, but I think he's got the ability, though. It's like an IKEA furniture set. Somebody sends it to you, and you got all the pieces. You just got to put it together.
You know what's crazy about Mims?
What?
You're right. He doesn't run the best routes, but he can run one hell of a fucking fade route, bro.
Yes.
The fade route. Okay, you're talking about a 9.3% catch probability on this route. Okay. We're talking back, shoulder, toes. The positioning of the throw has to be. There's a lot of things that have to come into play in order for this to work. For some reason, this is the only damn route that looks really great on film for this game.
Well, his stop and go though, man, makes those guys look like they're in a fucking turnstile.
Stop and go. Yeah, he's got a nice stop and go. He runs really nice digs, really nice outs.
Mm-hmm.
The intermediates are great, and then he has that awesome fade route. But I mean, oh gosh, it's everything else in between, and actually selling the route.
I'm just hoping that I mean, like, I have this vision in my mind about Denzel Mims, the big man, Chris Herndon as the tight end, Jamison Crowder taking all the fucking the gimme routes, and then you got Lev out the backfield. There's a narrative to be painted where it works, but then it's the fucking Jets with Adam Gase.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, no, I don't want any parts of this. Like, in real life or fantasy. Like, if you're a Jets fan, in fantasy, I feel sorry for you in real life. And then if you're a Jets fan in fantasy that also has Lev Bell, and then you're listening to this whole segment, and then you also have to hear me, especially, going against this Sam Darnold take, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. One day it'll get better, but for now, just put on, some kumbaya, hold hands, and pray.
So a good question is, where are you taking Denzel Mims in rookie drafts? I'm curious about that.
I'm not. I'm not.
Oh shit! All right, man.
I played I played. Our season got canceled. I play semi-pro out here in Colorado Springs, and like coming from someone that practices and plays, and I'm not trusting someone that drops that many balls. You gotta prove it to me.
Did you play in college?
Military.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Dad was like, "Hey, look, I'm not trying to pay for a tuition."
Oh yeah, man. That's a smart way to do it.
Yeah.
My dumb ass went and played on a non-scholarship at fucking Missouri Western and ended up leaving too soon and had a city year of eligibility, so I ended up playing rugby because I could drink when I played rugby.
Bro, rugby, and there's guys that come out and play like, they'll play football with us, and we want to talk about some, like, people that have wheels. Players run completely different. Do not run against rugby players, folks. Don't.
Oh, man. No, man. Some of our speedsters on that team were fucking nightmares, bro.
I've played against rugby players. I can only imagine, dude.
All right, so we covered Le'Veon Bell. Fact of the matter, and here's so let's preface this though, is that we want you to get rid of him, but you need to know how to sell him. That's the important part when we're talking about selling people. And the way that you can sell Le'Veon Bell is, I don't think people understand that he's only 28.2 years old. People think of him as this bygone running back, but you can sell him and be like, dude, he's still only 28. He's 2 years away from hitting that mark of 30. And look at AP. AP's still balling out at 33.
I also want to mention, you're right. I love that you mentioned that, and that's a guy that you could have late and just plug and play him week by week. Bye week. This person has a bye week. AP. That little cheat code there. But no, also with Lev Bell, I want you to you need to think about your target when you're going to get him off of your team. Get him to someone in your league. Let's say this is a league. I don't know. You guys have been together for a while, or you're really close coworkers or buddies.
Right.
So you know each other. Utilize that information. Hey, bro, I was thinking about your roster the other night and couldn't help but notice you're missing some veteran presence. And,
Right.
maybe that could be what tips your scale. I notice you're also weak at running back. You really want to go out there and trust two rookies? Here, let Le'Veon Bell, and let me go ahead and take, player X off your team for you. You're just going to flex J.K. Dobbins anyways? Have Le'Veon Bell as flex. Let me get J.K. Dobbins. And you know what, bro? I'll take a late round pick. Fuck it.
See, I don't know about you, but in all those leagues that I've been in with my boys for years, the minute I start any kind of sales pitch, they tell me to fuck off. They're like, nah, man, I ain't dealing with you.
See, I'm usually the person that's telling people to fuck off. Like, conservative, like to them, they're like, oh, we're playing against a person that runs a podcast about this. Like, let's see if we can pull one over on him. I'm like, not today.
That's right.
I said a lot of those.
Yeah. So the next one on our sell for your list is James Conner, and I could not agree more. Get the fuck rid of James Conner if you have the opportunity to, because he's still got name value, and you can make the narrative that last year's offense wasn't 2020's offense. You've got Ben Roethlisberger back, where you had, Jesus, I'm having a brain fart. What was his name?
Hodges as a quarterback, or Mason Rudolph?
Mason Rudolph with the cut-off face mask looking all stupid with his head up.
Yeah, remember?
But yeah, you can sell the narrative that this isn't the 2019 offense. He could have a return to form like he did in 2019. But I'm telling you right now, Anthony McFarland is my dude. Like, I love him.
Anytime that, and then also, with that being said, oh shit, I just had a brain fart. Benny Snell, who they drafted last year,
right?
Mr. As I like to personally call him, Mr. Catching Bodies. You guys should check out the interview that we did with Benny Snell Jr. on RUMBOYZ.com and on our YouTube. It's
I'll check it out.
Hilarious. But yeah, no, Mr. Catching Bodies is still back there. I think that offensive line is going to be a little bit more motivated now that Roethlisberger is going to be back healthy. Right. I don't think they gave two damns about the two fucks back in the backfield last year because, well, we saw evidence why, and clearly one was not composed and acted like a child and got his ass whooped by one Myles Garrett.
You don't kick dicks. You don't kick dicks.
You don't kick dicks, bro.
That's what you don't do.
And after a play is done, and especially when you're just getting your shit handed to you, just like let it be. Just let it be. Like, I don't know if anyone's seen The Last Dance. Do what Charles Barkley did. Just lay down and take it in Game 6. He's like, fuck it, I'm playing against Michael. Just let it be, Yeah,
you're not gonna beat Myles Garrett. It's not gonna go well.
Hell no. Oh, by the way, shout out to Cleveland fans. You guys should be excited. That man is back. I'm excited to see your defense this year. I'm going after your defenses in every draft. But anyways, no. Jay, you got to get rid of James Conner, though. There's just too many options. Jalen Samuels is still there. I mean, come on. And I'm sorry. Jalen Samuels, to me, is more elusive, and I like a guy that can, shake and bake on you at any given time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't need you to go ahead and catch bodies for me because I have a young buck that, as long as the offensive line is blocking, like he did at KU, at University of Kentucky, then where he had the number one offensive line there, and if he has a top offensive line in Pittsburgh, then Benny Snell's going to go ahead and catch bodies anyways. So you're becoming a thing of the past, James Conner.
Right.
You guys use that name value, like Nick just mentioned. Move him off your team. Pitch him to a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Come on.
Right. I mean, the great thing about leagues that you get into is there are some teams that are just like universally loved. Like you're gonna find fans of Pittsburgh in Kansas City. You're gonna find them in Washington, all that shit. You know, you're not gonna find like a freaking Lions fan, you know, across the nation. Pittsburgh's one of those organizations that people just latch onto, and you can sell the name of James Conner so easy right now because people ain't worried about Anthony McFarland. If you're not a film head, if you're not watching it, you don't know that he's a threat. And Benny Snell last year didn't show anything. So you can get rid of James Conner for a good haul right now, and you need to get out while you can.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
So let's move on to the next one. Let's go on to Kerryon Johnson. See what you got to say about him.
Carry on, my wayward son, Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing else to really say about this because his injury record speaks for itself, unfortunately. There's so much upside there if he were to be healthy. Just like, and actually, we can lump him in the next person that we were going to talk about. Him and Darius Guice, both guys. If they are healthy, then yes, you know, you're in hog heaven. But there's no hog heaven to be had with either of these people at the moment. They're not recovering from injuries. I don't see that Dalvin Cook effect happening to either of these guys. Hell, look at Geis' social media. I mean, he's kind of just like having fun. Like it's kind of like whimsical, like, you know, just in the freaking wind.
Right.
You know?
Well, I don't trust a single surgery that happened in Washington. You saw what happened to Alex Smith. I don't trust no surgeon from Washington.
No, well, I mean, they're just recruiting the guys from freaking, you know, hey, and I'm a military veteran, so I can go in and make this joke. They're just recruiting the guys from right up there in fucking Bethesda. Just like, hey, we know that, you know, you didn't really, you know, seal up that whole shrapnel injury too well, but come work with this team.
Yeah, it's bad, man.
Fuck it. They're just getting some Walter Reed rejects to come and work for the team. Sorry. Been to some shit. But no, man. So, like, I mean, with that being said, I mean, yeah, you know, both of those guys, because of their injury history, you got to move them. Darius Guice, you move him to a college head. You know, someone that you know, they just love college players. They just have a hard time letting go. There's always a truther of some form in a league. You know, oh, I remember that guy in college. You know what? He's going to get back to that form. Just you wait. Oh, year 3 in the NFL. Yep, it's his time. Yeah, I'm not waiting for year 3 in the NFL. So,
especially now with the DeAndre Swift in front of you.
For Kerryon, and in Detroit. Oh yeah, and the way that Detroit rotated running backs last year towards the end of the season, realized, oh shit, like we can kind of plug and play. You know, some of these. I mean, if we got the right one.
It's a Belichickian offense, you know. It comes from the Patriots coaching tree, and we've seen how detrimental being a Patriots running back can be to a person's fantasy football production. And so you go look at the Lions, and that's why I actually think that we're like you and I are on the same page that Kerryon's basically dead and buried. But I think that he could have a better year than even we're anticipating. But still, it's like the way you market it is you market it as a Belichick coaching tree that he's still going to get rotated in. And then once Swift takes over, he's going to get traded. Dude, he's young. He's young. He's going to get over these injuries. Get rid of him. You want this guy.
Exactly. Pitch it exactly in that manner. And let people know, you know, hey, if anything, out of the two that we just mentioned in this last segment, he has a better chance of maybe recovering and bouncing back and going to a different team and having success. Sorry, once you're in Washington, well, that's the Redskins for you.
I've actually been acquiring shares of Love just in case.
Of Jordan Love or Bryce Love?
Bryce Love.
Bro, hopefully they put him to work. Bryce showed the most love throughout, like out of all the rookies that I interviewed. No pun intended. Like, he was just so excited, and you could still see, you know, like he was young and everything. Like I'm sitting here, like I'm excited to interview him, but like he was like excited to sit down with us. And I'm like,
right.
I've only been at that point. So I'm like, I've only been doing this for 8 months. Like I just figured I ain't doing this shit.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I love him. And then, did you see Ron Rivera's statements about Antonio Gibson? talking about how they want to use him in the Christian McCaffrey role.
Bro, he is about to be nasty. I literally got sniped.
Oh shit!
First thing right before me, I'm like, oh, this is exactly what I set up for. This is exactly what I planned for. And next thing I know, the sleep rap goes and yanks him off the bar. I'm like, oh hell no! It could only happen to me because I was having my way just a little bit too much in that draft.
Right, yeah. That always happens to you. It's like everything's going good, and then boom, like the pick that you've been waiting for, you get fucked on. That's the one. It's like you get the top tier ones, you're like, oh, I'm golden. And then you get in the lower rounds where you got your guy, and you get sniped every time.
It started with Justin Herbert and then him, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, people are starting to catch on to my thought processes now. I need to start putting it up.
Right. All right, so let's move on. Let's go down to the buy lows. So we already talked about Sam Darnold a little bit here. And I know that we have a difference of opinion on that, but the one thing that I love about this guy is that he's 22.9 years old. He's younger than Joe Burrow with 3 years of experience in the league. He had an off season last year that was plagued by fucking mono. And I just like,
fuck, it's mono though. Like them New York and Sam Darnold, them New York strip clubs are nasty.
He got that Black Death, is what he got. You know,
the Black Plague.
That's right. But yeah, I think that with the addition of Denzel Mims, it might be, despite all Gase efforts, it might be the thing that sets him up to have a productive quarterback season. At least that's my hope. But we'll move on from him, and we'll go on to the running back that I think is the buy.
I want to point out one thing with him.
What's up?
I made the joke earlier about, I see a butt fumble in his future.
Right.
And she has a USC quarterback. Darnold, a USC quarterback.
All right, man. I got you. I got you.
Matt Weiner, a USC quarterback. Bust. I hate USC quarterbacks. I hate USC quarterbacks, and I cannot stand FSU players.
Who was the old school USC quarterback? Not old school, but like early 2000s. Was that Josh Rosenthal or something like that?
No, it wasn't Rosen. Shit. Now I'm trying to think.
Let me look this shit up.
Yep,
I just hope that Mims doesn't take the Josh Gordon route. That's all I'm hoping, is that Mims don't take that Josh Gordon route.
What do you mean? Like, how so? I mean,
getting suspended a shit ton.
Getting suspended and he had a little bit of troubles and shit to the school. I think that he has a drop problem. I think that's going to be his biggest problem. His biggest problem is he needs to focus on his hands. I suggest for him to take the same route as my homie Andy Isabella. Go ahead and take the money from his very first NFL contract, buy a jug machine, set that joint up in the backyard, and just stare at it and just catch balls, bro, because that's what he really, really needs, I feel.
Right. And no, I completely agree with that, because you got to get them hands going, because that 12.9% drop rate is absolutely atrocious. But let's go. Let's go on to the buy lows. So we've already covered our quarterback, so let's go on to the running back on this. And the running back that I have as my buy low, I know that you said that he was a dope interview, and I get it, but it feels gross saying it out loud, is David Montgomery with the Chicago Bears. If you can go out and get him for a low-end pick, if you can go out and get him for the pick that you'd grab Zach Moss with, snag him, man.
Yes, figure out a way. All right, now, are you saying buy low as in bringing him onto your team?
Yes.
So yes, absolutely figure out a way to get Montgomery. I think Nagy's gonna eventually get frustrated with this whole quarterback competition thing. You have now, Big Dick Nick as QB. I guess do we call him QB2 right now? I mean, are you really
call him QB1B?
1B, yeah, because you're competing with freaking Mitch Trubisky. When's the last time a quarterback came from the Tar Heels? More people do his basketball players. I know, I'm a UNC Tar Heels basketball fan, not for football though.
Right.
Like, hell no. The last great thing to come from Tar Heels football was Lawrence Taylor. Like, hell no.
Right. No, I'm with you, man.
So I think that David Montgomery is going to be a recipient. Someone has to take over in the offense when things start just going to shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with Allen Robinson being pretty much their only weapon,
right.
Unless Komet is some like ungodly tight end prospect that none of us knew about.
I am excited about Cole Kmet out there, though.
I'm
cautiously optimistic.
What the way that Nagy just completely abandoned the tight end role last year, like, you know, so I mean, he has to figure out how to utilize that combination of Montgomery and Cohen. The plays that he calls for Cohen are plays that he call for Montgomery. It's completely bass backwards.
Mm-hmm.
If they could fix it, and I'm telling you, Montgomery can't really be that guy. Everyone, I've seen this guy's workload, or his work ethic, like live and in person. While I'm out at freaking, you know, the freaking Playhouse at goddamn on Hollywood Boulevard with fucking Deebo Samuel and fucking AJ Brown and shit. They're like, yeah, we just got time. You know what David Montgomery is doing at 2 a.m. We're all coming back from freaking Uber. Like, this man is pumping freaking iron. I shit you not. He was the only one that never left his room. I mean, there was a couple of other ones, but I mean, for the most part, the guys that were really like knew that they were going to go to their teams and knew that they were going to make a difference.
Right.
The endorsement deals and shit, bro.
Well, the thing that you can't argue with is 242 carries and 11 goal line carries. You can't argue with that shit because Tariq Cohen isn't going to get that, you know,
No.
And there's nobody else that's in competition for that. And you start spreading the ball out just a little bit. I mean, Cole Kmet helping at tight end automatically helps stuff. And I'm telling you, if you get Mitch out of there and you get Nick Foles in there, he plays that game manager role that he's done his entire career. And we start to see a different offense.
In game manager offenses, guess who feast? Running back. Running backs.
Yep. And so for that reason, like I said, year one, atrocious. You know, not good. But I see brighter horizons for this kid. And then now also knowing, like I said, when we talk about the intangibles on here, those are things I love to hear. And hearing that this dude is just a fucking grinder, like he's got his eye on the prize, that makes me think that, like, he's mad about this season. He's not writing it off as a rookie season. He's pissed about the production. So he's coming back better than ever sophomore year.
He's angry about everything. He's angry about how he grew up. I'm serious. He's angry about how he grew up, where he, you know, and you know, just the things that he went through, you know, all having to end up at, you know, at Iowa State, you know, versus where, you know, other colleges where he could have gone. You know, he carries a chip on his shoulder about everything, and he's just ready for the right opportunity. Nagy, call the right damn plays. I like the 11 goal line carries, but for a guy with that damn personality, you fucking treat him like Emmitt Smith.
Yep. And that's the way that you're going to get a guy like that, because my comparison in this year's draft class of Dave Montgomery is Zach Moss. Okay. And shit, dude, I trust me, I was driving. So I was driving to Iowa last year during the draft, and I was praying and hoping that the Chiefs took David Montgomery when he fell down in the draft. It didn't end up happening, but I'm telling you, dude, that guy is a fucking grinder and a pounder. And if you can get him in the right carries, he's going to produce.
Yep. Hey, but you got my homie Miko.
Dude, no, shout out to Miko Hardman. I haven't got to talk about this on the podcast yet. I got married last October, okay? I'm flying back on a plane. We went to Gulf Shores, Alabama, and then we went to New Orleans to go party down on Bourbon Street. And we had a hell of a time. We were flying back, and we landed in KCI, and I didn't realize that this dude in front of me the entire plane ride was Miko fucking Hardman. I was too tired. I didn't see it. We get into the airport. There's this dude that bombards him with like 20 jerseys and like 10 photos and just shoves them in his fucking face. How this guy knew he was going to be at the airport blows my mind. That's got to be a violation of some fucking national registration somewhere.
There are crazy fucking fans out there. There are crazy fucking fans out there.
Like, and somebody's got a bro in TSA that like threw him a flight manifest or something like that.
That whole world is crazy. Like literally, all right. So literally, we're in the fucking club, right? We're all popping bottles and shit. Like we're at the table next to goddamn Debo, AJ, all them cats.
Debo's my boy, by the way. In case you were curious, I love Debo.
Debo, Miko, and AJ are definitely like the homies. So fucking Miko, like you know, right after like literally drops me a follow on Twitter. I'm drunk, but I remember like I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, I tap my business partner. I'm like, yo, Miko just gave us a fucking follow on Twitter, bro. And he's like, no shit. I'm like, hell yeah. And like Miko, he's like, hey. Gets up on the goddamn couch in the club. Yo, these guys just interviewed us. And you know, like some of the attention that was on, we're like, oh shit, who are you? Who the fuck do you work for? You at this? Like, no. Like, for my own company. Like, we're RUMBOYZ, but what's up? Like,
right, what's up?
It led to their success. It helped.
But yeah, man, but we got back to the airport and Miko, he was cool enough to see, he was tired as fuck, didn't want to be there, but he signed my, like, I was trying to be like real low key. My wife was like yelling at me like, why are you being so weird? I was like, shut the fuck up. And I was like, hey man, I drafted you in my rookie draft. Can you sign my boarding pass? That'd be super cool. And he was like, he was super cool about it, like just badass. And he signed it. So yeah, that was awesome. So shout out to Miko Hardman. That was the coolest. That was the first time I've ever met an NFL player in my fucking life, aside from the guys that I played with at Western who ended up in the fucking league, you know. Never met an NFL player, and that was the dopest fucking experience I've ever had.
Bro, imagine how it was for me. That was my first time out.
You're out partying with him and shit, and he's like giving you a follow-on.
NFL players, I was like, so this is my job now? I was like, because so people don't know, like, I do this like full time.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, you know, this, like, I accomplished it. Like, I'm
here.
Yeah, you know, so I mean, like, that was my very first experience. Like, I was like, oh shit, like, this is a business trip. I can't tell.
Did you get to expense the drinks out though? That's the question.
So everything was a la carte.
Oh fuck. All right. Yeah, see, I can't be in that environment because, like, I don't feel like I should be in that.
Neither did I. I was like, but you know, it bro, just keep doing the podcast, and trust me, you never know when the hell opportunity.
Right.
Like,
hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
We gotta listen. My fault.
But so let's go on. So the buy lows, damn, lost my mind there for a second. But the buy lows right now in our wide receiver category is going to be N'Keal Harry for me.
Oh yeah,
I think they didn't add any talent behind him, and I honestly think Belichick's trying to do a tank job. Okay, I think he's trying to get them 2021 picks, but I think N'Keal Harry doesn't have any talent behind him. He was pick 32 in the first round in the 2019 draft. I mean, that kind of draft capital doesn't go away. He was injured, and then he didn't produce in 2019.
Bro, all him and Stidham have gotten to do is just get to know each other and work with each other.
Yep.
And they have been bonded together since they got drafted, honestly.
Right.
I got to see that, you know. like first fucking hand, it's like, hey, where are you guys going? Oh, we're going down to fucking Venice to go throw on the beach. Like, all right, cool. Like, go fucking have fun. Like, I'm gonna just sit here and I have to interview the other second half. Like, I want to go chill with you guys.
Right.
But no, man. I mean, it's all good. You know, it's part of the job. But I mean, no, dude, I agree with you, man. You gotta go. You gotta get kill on your team.
And I honestly think you can get him for a very reasonable price tag right now. I think that people are kind of overlooking him in the rookie mania, and you start getting past like the,
Because
like
of
the.
that one
Go ahead.
injury. He has that one injury. He had a injury.
Right.
Like a injury.
Yeah. One injury does not an injury-prone player make.
No.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, it's gonna happen to everybody at some point. That's the business. You're getting hit by 250-pound men running at the 17 miles an hour every single play. It's gonna happen.
Look, what I tell people, I'm like, don't you complain when if you sneeze and your back hurts all of a sudden? Like, okay, then shut up. Imagine how they feel. Like, stop it.
Right.
Know?
Exactly.
So I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's going to happen at some point. I think that he's going to come out this year and he's going to be a sensation. Him and Stidham have been attached at the hip, like I said, since their birth in the NFL. So I think that connection is only going to continue and grow. I don't necessarily think the Patriots are necessarily going to tank because Belichick knows that he has to somehow, some way debunk the narrative of I can't do it without Brady.
You're right about that.
And I think they brought Stidham in for a reason.
And trust me, I always believe that Belichick has a plan that I'm not seeing yet.
Exactly. There's always a plan that none, like even when the Patriots drafted him last year, and me and my partner, we're going through like our portfolio of like all the players that were going to be interviewed. We're sitting back, watch the film. I'm like, I see why they went and they got this kid. Like I had already saw it. I'm like, okay,
right.
Who else out of this class do you bring in to really learn behind Brady? I'm like, there's kind of little things there. I think that had translated pretty easily. We saw early in the preseason where Stidham had already came out and was just like lighting it up, and like I was like, oh shit, it's already working. People also forget to watch preseason.
Right.
I think that's a fantasy no. If you're gonna,
how would you have known that that Kareem Hunt was going to be an all-star when Spencer Ware went down if you wouldn't have watched what he produced in preseason?
Exactly. You would have never known that Cooper Kupp was going to blow up and be the receiver that he was. You would have never known that Dak was going to come in and be the one that took Tony Romo's job. It took Tony Romo's job before the regular season.
Right.
Not watching preseason. Watch when you're sitting back and you're watching games. Don't just sit back and watch your damn score on your phone.
Right.
Watch the game.
Yeah.
Like your best to actually understand it because it's gonna help you a lot better in fantasy. Watch their chemistry. Watch their connections. Check out the players' interviews and stuff like that. Not just because I've done it, but when they're on NFL Network, when they're on ESPN, when they ball and they get the call from Dion, that shit all matters. Well,
like the first game of the regular season with the Chiefs with Kareem Hunt, where he came out, fumbled on the first play, and then balled the fuck out the rest of the game. Watching his interview after that game made me so excited. Now, I know that he's had his shit and all that, whatever. I still kind of got love for Kareem Hunt. He does some stupid shit, but I still got love for him.
Well, we're not here to talk the social issues, it's not.
Right. But watching that interview with him, dude, he seemed like a kid in the candy shop that was just so excited to be out on an NFL field playing a game. And that mmade me love him. I bought a jersey, I got every share I could of him, and it paid dividends by year end.
Yeah. You just gotta, once you know a player, you just know. Like once you know, I can guarantee, check me out during the preseason. I do play-by-play on my channel. Check me out during the preseason, and I'll literally be calling preseason action. People are like, why are you doing this? And why are you even doing a live stream of this? Like, because there's shit here that you guys need to learn and that you're probably going to realize, and you're like, wow, there's a gem, or wow, he called this early in the preseason, and you're sitting back with the rest of the analysts in the industry like, oh, shit. So do the little things. It's the little things that count. My football coach always told me, if you do the little things, it'll build the big picture.
Hell yeah, man. All right. Well, yeah, and then the last on the buy low that we had was Irv Smith. We talked about him a little bit here. We've got a
Yeah.
difference of opinion on him, and I appreciate that because I love having a little bit of back and forth with it. The one thing that I do like about Irv Smith is he's got that 80% contested catch rate and he has a 76.6 contested catch rate, but that's easy as fuck to do when you have a small sample size. When you're not getting 100 attempts over a season, when you've only got like 40 attempts on you, it's easy to do.
I mean, and when you're on big as shit too, and I mean, honestly, he boxes out like when he goes up to catch a ball, it's insane what he does. In terms of his fundamentals and his mechanics, just the way his body twists and adjusts. I feel like he's a guy that you may actually have to hold on to. I think that Kyle Rudolph is going to diminish in that role.
Yes.
Like,
which how disappointing has he been over his career? Man, I was so stoked about Kyle Rudolph coming in and being like a top 5 tight end, but like, man, he's just let me down left and right.
Last year was actually his like best, like one of his like I guess like best, more so memorable years.
Right.
Strung together. They capped it all with donating his gloves to some dumbass that scanned him out of it because he thought it was going to go to charity. Just come on. So yeah. With that being stated, I feel like you hold on to Irv Smith. Once again, tight end security blanket. Kirk Cousins is going to need him. But I mean, when you see that he's peaking and it's starting to get mid-season, know that Kirk Cousins is. I mean, he's also going to be thrown out of desperation.
Right.
Be getting that tight end caught in a weird place. That may be, got to get rid of him.
You hold him and pray for no injuries.
Yeah, hold him and pray for no injuries. I mean, but if you start seeing like one or two, catches where it's like, all right, you sent him across the middle a little bit, and you let him a little bit blindly on that one, and then he just got tracked by Mike. So it's like, yeah, I think I might go ahead and move this guy because that happened, that happened with me with David Njoku last year. I kept seeing it. I'm like, okay, I need to get rid of him. And one of the leagues I was in, I wasn't able to get rid of him in time, and I kept seeing the trend. I kept trying to trade him away, and Baker Mayfield threw him right in there in the fucking flat, and that strong safety came up and just wow, like laid him out. And
I think Austin Hooper's dead in the water out there. That's my opinion, though.
Bro, when they drafted Austin Hooper, I was like, when they traded for Austin Hooper, yeah, I immediately got worried, bro.
If we want to talk about a sell high on Austin Hooper.
He keeps falling to me in all my recent drafts right now. like every dynasty startup and every just like redraft mock that we've been doing.
Right.
He keeps falling me, so I'm like, fuck it, BPA, best player available.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take him if he falls to you at the right spot, All right, well, I think we've exhausted our sell high, buy lows, and we got to talk about the rookies of 2019, the way they party. We got to talk about like the concentration of a David Montgomery. I think we did a good job today, man. I'm pretty happy with it.
Oh yeah, man.
All right, man. But yeah, so check out rumboyz.net. That's with a Z. So check them out. They've got, like you said, he does preseason play-by-play. They've got backlogged interviews of the 2019 rookies. So all of that stuff. I mean, it's not just because it's 2019 shit doesn't mean that you can't go back and watch it and gain valuable insight,
Exactly.
And go check out our Triple DFFP's rookie draft guide. It comes complete with a cheat sheet, a draft board, and a bio on all the top 40 rookies that you can see this year in a tiered format. So go draft that. It's completely free. So we've got it all ready for you, and that's where we're at, man. You got anything left to tell them where they can find you, anything like that?
Yeah, rumboyz.com. Check us out there. Subscribe to us on YouTube and all social media at RUMBOYZ, spelled with a Z, NET.
Hell yeah, man. Hey, thanks for coming on, bro.
Hey, I appreciate you for having me, Nick. Thank you.